Hello.
Then. Now.
Countdown to the queens.
Episode number 500.
Forever.
Looks like hell froze over.
Without any more further ado,
Together.
let's jump straight into the show. Hello, back to episode number, I think it's 76 of the TEW IX Challenge Run. We're here for Raw for Monday, December 2nd, 2024. We're finally in December. You know, just 2 months left before the Royal Rumble to get done in like 2 weeks. Not impossible, we're going to give it a go. But yes, this is going to be Raw coming off of last week's show, which was the Fallout from Survivor Series, as we continue the build towards Saturday night's main event, which takes place next Saturday, a week from Saturday. We know Nova Nebula will challenge Jade Cargill in a rematch on the show for the Women's Championship, and Cody Rhodes will face off against Bronson Steiner on the show in a singles match. Tonight we have the next matches in the Women's Intercontinental Climax, of course, and a 6-man tag match as Trick Williams finds tag team partners to face off against Jay White and the Guns. So without any more further ado, let's jump straight into the show. The show kicks off and CM Punk and his cronies are already in the ring. He says, "Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Monday Night Raw. Now, I got word just before we were about to head on air that we were supposed to hear from Cody Rhodes to kick off tonight's proceedings. And obviously, Cody, me and him, we don't see eye to eye. Cody Rhodes is the old face of WWE, not the face of CM Punk's WWE, so that's no longer gonna happen. So instead, you get to listen to us once again." Now, last week was the first real plans put into motion of changing this place and making this place great and fun for everybody involved. Up and down the roster, there have been many people, some against my vision, some for it, but everybody has an opinion about CM Punk, and it's make no mistake about it, I've shaken this place to its core in just the month since I've been back here. And as your undisputed WWE champion, the show revolves around me and what I want. You know who agrees with this? Your women's tag team champions, Roxy Perez and Cora Jade, the future of this women's division. 2 women who you can thank me for having on your screens every single week, because there'd be no Cora Jade, there'd be no Roxy Perez if there was no CM Punk. And of course, we've got these two gentlemen. These two gentlemen who came into WWE as one of the hottest tag teams in TNA and the independent circuit. Some of the hottest tag teams to never step foot into a WWE ring. And what happens to them once they get here? They're put as background players in a group when Raven starts to try and preach his synonyms to everybody. As these two have to stand in the background and watch as Damian Priest and Buddy Murphy, 2 single stars who sort of fell off the radar because they couldn't hack it on their own, get all the spotlight. We're done with the grand jury holding these men back. We're done with the men you knew as Emerson Frost and Ken Cobain, because that's what the system wanted you to know these men as. From this day forward, you're looking at the greatest tag team here on Monday Night Raw, and the soon-to-be World Tag Team Champions, Ace Austin and Chris Bay. A, B, C. Now, this rot in the company, it goes a hell of a lot more. Like I said last week, it's top to bottom filled. We've still got some idiots walking around here pretending to be cartoon characters. That's not professional wrestling. If you want to do that, go to a Comic-Con, okay? This is my vision, and we need to stomp every single one of you out who doesn't want to be here, so we can rebuild anew. So tonight, you can all sit back and enjoy ABC in their quest to become the next World Tag Team Champions. So we do get the opening match, which will be ABC taking on My Wrestling Academia, the aforementioned cartoon characters the CM Punk had an issue with. 72, Chris Bay sustained a mover's back strain. Hopefully that's not going to keep him out. I don't think it will. It doesn't sound like... It sounds like something he can work through, is all I'll say. And it didn't change the finish of the match, so it's fine. But yeah, ABC do pick up the win. Ace Austin pins Manny Kuhn with Ace's high in 10:37. 81 for Ace, 83 for Chris, 75 for Manny, 84 for Dio. So not a bad little match to kick off the show, but it didn't get super long, so 72 is like... and also the injury, hampered the rating. I forgot about that. But yes, CM Punk has rebranded Ace Austin and Chris Bay. I will say, I did this one because Christian left the comment about it. I thought it was a good idea. But hypothetically, if there's going to be other people in the future that have gone through the system name change, they're not all gonna, change their name. I just thought it would be a good idea for these two specifically because, they were in the grand jury, which is sort of like a cult thing. And, the cult is, making somebody undergo a name change in a cult is, that could be a cult-y thing. But, another wrestler, who's just undergone a name change, of free will, they'll probably still keep their name as it is. But, it just felt like it made sense to, shed that grand jury skin because he has that issue specifically with the grand jury, not just with the WWE as well. So, yeah. Ace Austin and Chris Bay, ABC, their own men here tonight. Yes, I know, Tyson. Should be fine. We then cut to a video. Bobby Roode, he recorded it last week. He said, "Ladies and gentlemen, for a week now, WWE fans on social media have been asking questions and sending messages to myself and Triple H and everybody here in WWE, for an update on AJ Styles. You see, last week AJ in the main event of Raw was put down by Bronson Steinever. He was brutally, viciously attacked by the man known as Balor. Now, Finn Balor, obviously, we haven't seen him around here for many months. It was AJ Styles who took care of him last time we saw him. And now he's back for revenge on the man. But it may not be happening for a long time because Balor coup de grace AJ Styles around his neck with a steel chair. And that's going to be an injury. AJ's sustained some serious neck injuries. And quite frankly, we have no time for a return on AJ Styles. We'll keep you updated on his status. But Balor, for a demon like that, I don't even know if he's going to be around here this week. Punishment will be dealt to Balor. I'm not scared of no demon man. He needs to be brought to justice for what he did to AJ Styles last week. We then cut backstage. Punk and Co are, backstage. And he's ordering traffic around again, throwing his weight around. But he bumps into Bronson Steiner. And Punk goes, "Big man, you've been the future of this company for a long-ass time, and I'm finally seeing results on you, You've made a name for yourself at the expense of Cody Rhodes. I'm proud of you, kid. And on Saturday night's main event, I need you to put Cody down for good so he doesn't get in my way ever again. And about last week, taking care of AJ. Great stuff." And Bronson Steiner's like, "As long as I can keep winning around here, Punk, I can get on board with your vision." And he just walks off. And Punk goes, "See that? The most dangerous man here on Monday Night Raw believes in us, believes that we can get this job done. Because we are here to cleanse this place, to cure the poison. I don't care if guys like Cody Rhodes reject it, or LA Knight, whoever it may be. Nobody on this Raw roster can hold a candle to CM Punk because there's not a single man back here who are not afraid to stomp out if they go against my word." He turns around and Gunther stood there. With Ludwig, of course. And then, the second Punk sees Gunther, you see him, clench onto his belt, a little tighter. And Gunther says, "I'm going to say this once, and never again. I am sick and tired of hearing the sound of your voice. I do not care about your vision for this company. I do not care about any vision or any state of this company. I'm here to be the best professional wrestler on the planet. And I'll continue to do that. But let's make one thing perfectly clear. You currently hold the prize that signals who the greatest professional wrestler on the planet is. So in due time, I'm going to want to take that from you. And he just walks off. And then Punk, sort of like loosens up once Gunner's gone. He says, like I was saying, nobody on this roster can put the fear of God into us, can stop us doing what we need to do. A1, the first of the women's Intercontinental Climax South Conference matches tonight. Bianca Belair against Tegan Nox gets an 81. Bianca does pick up the win in 12:56 for KOD. 91 for Bianca, 79 for Tegan. So Bianca now continues her undefeated streak. She's 3 wins from 3. She's on 9 points, just like Stephanie Vaquer in the North Conference. Tegan, is she the one on 4? Is it probably? No, it's Tegan on 4. Yeah, so Tegan's on 4. That's her first defeat of the tournament, actually. But yes, Bianca Belair with another big win here tonight. With 2 games left to go in this tournament. There's still 6 points up for grabs on the spin, so I guess if Bianca does lose both, she could throw it all away, but she's looking very comfortable right now, is all I'll say. We then get a backstage video, or a pre-tape video. It's Becky. She walks into some sort of audition room, and she takes a seat. She goes, ladies and gentlemen, you may now begin. And then the first person to walk in is Billie Starkz. She excitedly comes in, sits down. And then Becky sits down. She's like, good evening. She goes, hi. She goes, state your name. She goes, Billie Starkz, Stargirl. 20 years old, prodigy, future of WWE. And Becky goes, Stargirl, what makes you think you should be the woman to hold the tag team belt for Becky Stardust at Cyber Sunday? And she goes, well, I've looked up to you since I started my wrestling career, at just 19. Obviously, I grew up on the era of you and Sasha and Charlotte and Bayley. And Becky's like, me, continue. But it would be my honor to hold the tag rope for you, Becky, because you're an inspiration. You're the Becky Stardust. Me, it would be the most viewed moment of my career to team with you. Because you're a hero to girls like me and everybody my age and our generation. And to say that I got to do that while you were still around, I'll hold that until the day I die, Becky. And Becky smiles and she goes, you sure do know your way to my heart, Stargirl. We'll take it under consideration. Next, Kelly walks in. She goes, hi. Kelly Costa, Lisbon. She goes, Kelly, why should you be the woman who holds the tag rope for me at Cyber Sunday? She goes, to be honest, because Lyra, she was the champion with you before, and she's my tag team partner that you stole from me. So if she gets tag team championship success with you, then I think it's only fair I should too. And plus, here's the thing, Becky, if you want me in your corner, it'll motivate me to become the Women's Intercontinental Champion. If I become the Women's Intercontinental Champion, you could hold 3 belts. Okay? But he goes, oh, I do like the sound of that. Imagine me as the Women's Tag Team Champions and the Women's Intercontinental Champion. You know what, Kelly? You make a good argument. Next, Lyra sits in. She goes, Bird Girl. She goes, do I not introduce myself? He goes, oh, sorry, got ahead of myself. She goes, state your name. She's like, Lyra Valkyria. And Becky goes, who? We don't use fake names around here. And she decides, she goes, Bird Girl, Dublin, Ireland. She goes, I knew I recognized you. So, why do you think you should be holding the tag team rope for me at Cyber Sunday? Lyra goes, because I owed a rematch for the championships as well. It was my championship. We won those at SummerSlam, you and I. Okay, I don't know if you noticed this. Every single time you had a tag team championship defense, I was there. Okay? I was the one by your side holding those championships. So if you get this rematch and have it without me, I don't really think that seems fair. Becky goes, Bird Girl, fan fiction will get you nowhere. I was the women's tag team champions, not you. But I like the confidence you've got in yourself that we're going to get those championships back. So, unfortunately for you, I was less than impressed by your resume and your argument here today. No, discussing, of course. But, luckily for you, Bird Girl, it's not up to me. It's up to the Stargoers in the Becky Nation to decide who holds the tag rope for me. So you're not out of the fight just yet. Because, for what reason, there could be people out there who think that you're the worthy person to hold the tag rope for me rather than my Stargirl, the future of the brand. And Kelly, the future woman who's going to help me become the Women's Intercontinental Champion. We're dismissed. We're done here today. And then it fades away. We then cut back. Cody Rhodes is in Bobby Roode and Triple H's office, and he goes, Hunter, I understand that, he's throwing his weight around here a hell of a lot more than he needs to, but you're telling me my segment got cut off because of him? There's nothing you can do about it? And Triple H's like, well, sure there is, but it's a lot more trouble than it's worth, Cody. I apologize. Things are getting a bit chaotic here recently, and it's all because of CM Punk. Then LA Knight walks in, he goes, Hunter, Bobby, I earned my name. Leave the dirty lips of CM Punk earlier on tonight. Okay, if he thinks he can run around here pushing his weight around, well then, honestly, best of luck to him. But there's one thing he shouldn't, and he should know he shouldn't be able to do, and that's mention the name of LA Knight without getting it smacked off his face. Cody goes, you and I, we teamed up at Survivor Series. And now, it seems we're on the same side once again here. Cody goes, so give me Bronson Steiner and CM Punk in the main event tonight. And I goes, and I'll team with him. Yeah. Because, well, we'll have to run that by Punk, but we'll get back to you. So yeah, challenge made up for tonight's main event. Cody Rhodes and LA Knight want to team with CM Punk and Bronson Steiner. Or team against CM Punk and Bronson Steiner even. So let's see what Punk has to say about that, if anything. Then get another Dijak video. He's watching the events of last week's Raw. And you can see he's got a notepad on his desk. He's taking notes of everything. He's got a pin board up. With it's divided in half. He's got stuff pinned on one side, stuff pinned on the other, weighing up what's going on here. And he goes, this is interesting. Never before have the lines of justice been blurred this badly. For CM Punk, his vision of the WWE is one that a lot of people could get on board with. It's one that a lot of people have been wanting for a long ass time. And nobody likes corporations dictating the ruling. But on the other hand, CM Punk in himself is a dictator. He's his own cult of personality, and he's surrounding himself by people who tell him how great his vision is. So who is in the wrong here? I'll tell you who, once I make up my mind. And when that moment comes, everybody better feast their eyes. Semi-non-rated tag team match. Trick's partners are the returning Idris Enofe and Malik Blade. No longer French, because David Martin's back now. He's doing his own thing. So now, for Idris and Malik are back. They're a fine mid-card babyface tag team to add to the division, to give it more depth, really. And yeah, Trick pins Colton Gunn with a trick shot in 12:41 to win the match for his team. 74 for Trick, 51 for Idris, 57 for Malik, 51 for Colton, 58 for Austin, and a 91 for Jay White. Nice little match, actually. I know Jay White did all the carrying, but he carried some 50s, so that's pretty good. But yeah, Idris and Malik, back on Raw. They're a Raw babyface mid-card tag team. So yeah, sure, let's go. We then see Titus World Records backstage. And Titus goes, this D'Angelo family. They throwed their weight around, they tried to take care of Truth. Now Truth, he may not be the sharpest tool in the shed, but he's ours. Everybody loves Truth. Truth's one of the most beloved WWE superstars here on Monday Night Raw, and you want to do your thing and take care of Truth. That don't fly with us. Truth's our brother. So, D'Angelo family, You want war? Or Titus World Records is ready for Titus World War. And it starts with Big Cass, the biggest threat. Why don't we take the biggest target out first? Because you say he's 7 foot tall and people say you can't teach that. Well, somebody else has got a doctorate in being 7 foot tall. And that's this man who's also got a doctorate in Shankonomics. Slim Shanky. So how about it, Cass? Next week, you against our big man. So yeah, Big Cass and Slim Shanky next week. We then cut backstage. Idris and Trick are there. They're sort of like, chatting to Trick. And like he's okay, thanks for tonight, boys, see you in a bit. And CM Punk, he smiles and he walks up to Trick Williams. He goes, wow, you sure did whoop that Trick out there tonight. He goes, what do you want, Punk? He goes, oh, nothing. I've just received word from people that apparently I'm being asked to wrestle in our main event match tonight. But I didn't bring my gear. I don't really plan on wrestling on the show. And since I'm the WWE champion, I call the shots around here, so that won't be happening. But the idea of Bronson Steiner destroying LA Knight and Cody Rhodes, it does fit my vision. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to find a different partner for Bronson Steiner, somebody else who sees the vision and wants to become part of the antidote to cure the poison of this place. And I've not really spoken to you about where you fall in this. So how about it, Trick? You in? And Trick sort of just stares at CM Punk and he goes, this is all way too much for me. I ain't saying I'm in, but I ain't saying I'm out. I'm saying Tricky Willie wants to do his own thing around here. I want to go up there and I want to win matches and win championships. And Jay White, he's the one with my focus right now. And he walks off and Punk goes, I can respect that. And then Nova Nebula walks up to CM Punk. She goes, wow. Just left you hanging, huh? He goes, a lot of people around here have done worse to me, and trust me, I'm going to do a hell of a lot worse than them because they know who they are and the seats are coming. What do you want? She goes, I lost my WWE Women's Championship recently to Jade Cargill. Sure you've heard of her, you know all about her, you're familiar. I know you're friends with Jade. But friends in this business, what are they really? Jade is another product of this WWE system. She's who they want to be the champion. They don't want girls like me, just like they don't want a guy like you. So if you're going to rebel against the way this place operates and who they put the championships on around here and creating a better vision for the company as a whole, I can get behind that. And she just walks off. And Punk sort of just watches her leave and sort of just nods his head back. He's like, I see. 77. We take that. Tam picks up her first 3 points, Mackie, transferred her powers over to Tam on Heat last week. And apparently it worked because she does pick up her first win of the tournament, pinning Tatum Paxley, who still sits on 0. She's having a very, very rough time of things so far. And you can see she's getting more and more insane and unhinged as she keeps losing. But yeah, Tam does pick up the win with a spin kick in 11:37. 68 for Tam, 71 for Tatum. So yeah, Tam is now on 3. Tatum's on 0, which means Bianca's on 9, Tegan's on 4, then we have obviously Tiffany on 6 and Piper on 1, and they will wrestle later on tonight. Then see Axiom backstage. Just chilling, doing his own thing. When Christian and Axiom back there, he's like reading a comic or something. Taking stuff in. When Christian just walks up and just smacks it out of his hand. And he goes, look at this nerd. And Axiom's like, can I help you? And he goes, it's just this locker room. CM Punk is doing his thing around here right now, and we've stayed largely out of his way because, obviously, if he came near us, we'd put him in the dirt. So he's scared of us and my children. But he actually mentioned the World Tag Team Championships earlier on. Can you believe that? And Axiom goes, well, considering there's a tag team under his rank, and yeah, I can, because every tag team's goal here in the company should be to be the World Tag Team Champions. And Kushida sort of looks at me and he goes, smart ass. Anyway, that clearly means he wants to come for us at some point. And honestly, I say, why wait? I'm a believer in CM Punk's vision, so is Dirty Dom here, my son, and my other son, Lexis. So we need to have a chat with Punk. And Axiom goes, well, okay, good luck with that. And Christian goes, I don't remember talking to you. And Axiom goes, well, you came over here to me, bothered me when I was doing my own thing, and then started talking, so I assumed you were talking to me. Christian goes, we don't talk to nerds. Okay, come on, boys. And they just walk off. Axiom just stares off blankly, shakes his head, picks his comic back up and starts reading it. Montez Ford promo. He's got a match coming up next against Ludwig Kaiser. You know, he's had a thing with Gunther recently, and we never actually did Ludwig and Montez Ford one-on-one. And Tez, he says, everybody around here is being asked the same question over the past couple of weeks. Are you punk in or you punk out? See, I don't understand why anyone's got to be punk in or punk out. You see, I've got a respect for CM Punk. Okay, CM Punk has helped steer me on the right path. I can acknowledge that he's gone way too over the top and gone way too far recently, but I can also acknowledge the good side of CM Punk, because this place, it ain't so black and white, and the perfect middle ground is somewhere in the middle. And that perfect middle ground is Montez Ford as the WWE Champion. Now, in Auckland, I got screwed by a man who I thought was my best friend. But that's all behind me now, because what I need to do is get back on winning ways, and what's the best way to get back on winning ways is to take out the top dogs. Gunther, I had your number a couple of times recently, and I've definitely still got your number in my bag. But first, I've got your little lackey Ludwig to take care of right now. Hit my music. And out comes Montez Ford for the match. Gets a 92. We'll take that. Ludwig actually outscores Montez Ford. He gets a 92, Montez Ford gets an 83, sure. But, yes, it is via shenanigans by Giovanni Vinci. Vinci screws Ludwig Kaiser in the match, and Montez Ford pins him with a frog splash in 16:54. 92 for Ludwig, 83 for Tez. Nice. We then see a response promo from Malcolm Bivens and Jade Cargill. Bivens just starts, he's just shaking his head. And he says, Nova, baby, is this how desperate you are? You want to cuddle yourself up to CM Punk? You want to be a part of this whole CM Punk thing? I get it, you're not happy with losing your championship to Nova, to Jade Cargill even, but you're blaming the system. You're blaming WWE. You know who you're not blaming, Nova? Your damn self. Because last time I checked, it wasn't WWE headquarters in that ring getting its ass stomped out by this bitch right here. It wasn't WWE Highlights. It wasn't Triple H in there getting stomped out by Jade Cargill. It was you. You had the opportunity to win that match and you blew it. But now it's everybody else's fault, right? It's the company putting you down, right? Wrong. See, it doesn't matter how many agendas you may try to run around here with Punk and Triple H and Bobby Roode and everybody but us. There's only one agenda that stands head and shoulders above every single other agenda going on around here right now, and that's that this woman, Jade Cargill, is the WWE Women's Champion. She is the greatest women's wrestler here on Monday Night Raw, and after Saturday Night's main event, she will still be the Women's Champion. You don't like that? You haven't gotta like that. But maybe once in a while look in a damn mirror to see what the problem might be, instead of blaming everybody around you. We then see Punk. He goes up to Bronson Steiner and he goes, you know, the WWE mind virus has corrupted a lot of people in this locker room, Bronson. You know, you've not really been held long enough for it to affect you, and it was way, way worse 10 years ago when somebody else was running this place, but it's still a thing, okay? And all these people are standing up for WWE because they think it's going to make them nice and proud and give them a nice big paycheck that they all I've either no commented or rejected the opportunity to be your tag team partner against Cody Rhodes and LA Knight in the main event tonight. But since I'm CM Punk and I don't wrestle on Monday Night Raw, you may have to do this alone. And Bronson started sort of glares angrily. He goes, "What do you mean alone, Punk? How this isn't what we're supposed to be doing?" And then Gable starts goes, "Excuse me, hi, Phil. I can call you Phil, right?" Punk just rolls his eyes. He goes, "What?" He goes, "I can't help but hear you overhear you talking over here very loudly, of course. And it's not like you need a tag team partner tonight to get your hands on LA Knight and Cody Rhodes. And let me let you know, I don't like LA Knight or Cody Rhodes either, which is why I need to be a part of this antidote, because LA Knight and Cody Rhodes are part of the problem here in WWE. I need to stomp at their asses both out." And Punk goes, "Back at the begging again, are you, Gable, huh? I didn't forget what you did to me. Tried to take care of me, tried to make sure I could never wrestle again. Yet here you are, kissing my ass. You're no better than these company shills that live among us. But consider this your trial run, because we're in desperate need for a tag team partner tonight. Don't let me down." Gable goes, "I won't do. I'm the best damn Olympic athlete here in WWE. I'll get the job done tonight. Me and Bronson, we've teamed up in the past. I actually paid this man to take out some of my contenders before. Trick Williams, I believe, got speared through a car door. I was the one who set him up. So me and Bronson, we worked together great." And Bronson goes, yeah, just stay out of my way. Leave Cody Rhodes for me." And he walks off. 86? Jesus Christ. That overachieved. I guess the finish was just that shocking that it bumped up the match rating by like 10. But yes, here's a bracket buster for you. Anything can happen in the Intercontinental Climax. Piper Niven pins Tiffany Stratton with a Michinoku driver in 13:08. 72 for Piper, 81 for Tiffany. And Tiffy was looking comfortable, and after 2 wins, she was already like mentally buying outfits she thought would match with the championship she was about to win. But Piper Niven has put her down. Picking up her first win of the tournament, she's now on 4. The same amount of points as Tegan, actually. So you got them on 4, Mackie on 3, Tatum still on 0, Tiffany's on 6, and Bianca is on 9. So yeah. Bianca is kind of, but again, she's not through because she could lose both our last 2 matches, and Piper and Tegan could win on both of them. They'd both get through. But like, she's comfortably in the lead at the minute. And then it's everyone else's game, really, outside that. So yeah, nice little group shipping up here, heading into the last 2 rounds of the tournament. Then get a Path of the Dragon training montage. They're back up at their, mountain. They've climbed the mountain. They're back at their little sensei's dojo. Who was it? Was it Tajiri? I think it was Tajiri. But I don't have him under contract, so just pretend he's here. He says, "What brings you back here?" And Tozawa starts speaking to him in Japanese. It's subtitled. And he's like, "After I came back, we were supposed to be the best tag team in the world once again. But we hit a stumbling block, and we fear we may have rushed back into tag team action too soon. So please, Sensei, we need to get back to how we were before. Give us that same lesson." And he just smiles and he goes, "Glad to have you back, my greatest trainees. Come right this way." So yeah, Path of the Dragon off again on their soul-searching mission after losing the tag team championships. Speaking of, beloved babyface mid-card tag teams, we then cut to Dio and Manny frustrated. And Manny goes, "Man, first Saray, this whole pendant thing, we're focusing very hard on that, Dio. And I don't know. She's not even here tonight." He goes, "Do you understand now, Manny?" He goes, "What?" "What I said the other week. The WWE champion, CM Punk, the man who's trying to take this company hostage, called our names out in the start of the show, called us a joke. And we just proved him right. I'm not saying that this has to stop, but I'm saying, remember what I said about Saray and how we could use this to our advantage." Manny sort of looks down and he goes, I mean, you're right, but what about her? And Dio just sort of shrugs and goes, at this point, it's going to have to be a risk we have to take. And he gets up and leaves. But yes, I guess Dio was kind of right. You know, we could use this shit to our advantage. Manny said no, and they got embarrassed, so, you know. Next week, we have a pretty stacked episode of Raw. It is the go-home show for Saturday night's main event. We've got 5 matches set for that show so far, including the next 3 rounds. It's round 4 of the North Conference of the Women's Intercontinental Climax. It is squeaky bum time. And, yeah, Bayley and Mina Shirakawa. Bayley picked up her first win of the tournament last week. She's actually not in terrible footing right now in terms of the standings. But she probably will need to get that win over Mina over the line to get it into a really comfortable position. Let's see if she can get that done next week. Also, it's Jada Parker and Killer Kelly Costa. Jada's on 6. Kelly's on 3. Let's see who can get the job done in that match. You know, Becky will obviously be breathing down Kelly's neck ahead of that one. Which, of course, means Stephanie Vaquer and Mackie. Mackie got her first... No, she hasn't got her first. I'm thinking of Tam. Mackie's on 1 point. And Stephanie Vaquer's on 9. So, yeah. An underdog game for Mackie, really. But as we've proven tonight, anyone can beat anyone. Jada beat Bayley. You know, Piper beat Tiffany, so Mackie could upset the world next week. I'll have to wait and find out. Plus, the battle of the 7-footers, Slim Shanky of Titus World Records. Does battle of the D'Angelo family, Big Problem Cass. You know, Titus World Records declared Titus World War earlier on tonight, so let's see how that goes. And it's finally happening next week, the singles clash between 2 former tag team partners as Giovanni Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser, the former Imperium teammates, face off in their first ever singles match on next week's episode of Raw. Plus, for Saturday night's main event, we had nothing new tonight, really, but we did learn last week that Cody Rhodes and Bronson Steiner will go one-on-one on Saturday night's main event. You know, Bronson won their first singles encounter back at Bash in Berlin in dominant fashion, took Cody out for months. You know, they got a double count out. They both got counted out with Survivor Series, which didn't really settle anything. But this one-on-one, their second one-on-one encounter, coming up next Saturday. 96 rated main event. Cody Rhodes and LA Knight pick up the win. LA Knight pins Chad Gable, so Chad Gable's chance to, you know, impress and get a win for the antidote, really. And he comes up short. LA Knight puts his ass down with the BFT after, of course, Cody Rhodes and Bronson Steiner again cancel each other out. 84 for LA Knight, 91 for Cody, 95 for Gable, 87 for Bronson. So yeah, LA Knight scores the win. Cody and Bronson Steiner, I imagine, have fought like through the crowd, so they're like out of the picture at this point. They're gone. You know, doing their own thing, fighting around, you know, the backstage area. Like they fight off. You know, LA Knight celebrating his win in the middle of the ring. He turns around and CM Punk drops him with a GTS. And he starts mocking him. He goes, huh? You know, supposed to be your game, huh? I don't think so. You want to rebel against me. You want to buddy up with Triple H and Bobby Roode. You could have been one of us, but now you're a target. Knight. Yeah. Then he sort of turns across to Gable. And he goes, and you. You begged, and you begged, and you begged for another opportunity. Please, Phil. I regret everything I did to try and ruin your career 6 months ago. And now this is what you're doing, huh? Loser. You call yourself Mr. Money in the Bank. You're supposed to be a future WWE champion. I don't think so. Boys, take care of him. Emerson and Ken take out Chad Gable, toss him to the outside. And you go, see this? See this is a warning, okay? If you want to be in the CM Punk crowd, we don't take losing, okay? Because you're not right for the system. If you keep losing and throwing things away and making us look bad, I don't look bad. I'm CM Punk. I'm leading this place. You all need me to lead this place. And as he's ranting, I imagine the exact shot in my head, like, it's the old Keith Lee NXT shot where, like, somebody pops up. Actually, the more specific example would be, there was that shot they did in that tag match, like, a couple of years ago, it was Drew against The Undertaker, and, like, Taker, like, slit his throat, and then Drew popped up behind him, like, looking angry. So it's that shot. Punk's in the middle of ranting, when Damian Priest pops up behind him, looking frustrated. And then when Punk turns around, Priest grabs him by the throat. He's got him like in position for the choke slam, Emerson and Ken, sorry, who are they? Ace Austin and Chris Bay rush at him. Buddy Murphy gives them a big knee. Priest boots one of them away. And he does plant CM Punk down with that South of Heaven chokeslam into the mat to a big pop. And Priest sort of looks down at the WWE title. He picks it up, he gives it a big roar as he holds the championship up high. It's like, yeah, Damian Priest with a warning shot. Another enemy of CM Punk coming after that champ. He's making a lot of them. He's almost got as many as the Hurt Business at this point. But yes, the grand jury standing tall to close Monday Night Raw. 95 rated show. Yep. You know, now these entire shows revolve around CM Punk, they get high ratings because all of his segments get in the blues, and, you know, everything flows together nicely, so it's fine. But yes, I'll see you on the other side now for Heat. Heat kicks off, of course, with the first backstage interview following the Intercontinental Climax. It is Bianca Belair. You know, she's dusting herself off after a win. All goes, Bianca, just like Stephanie Vaquer last week, 3 wins from 3, 9 points you find yourself on. You know, you're not officially yet qualified for the semi-finals, but it's looking like you're going to be on great course to do just that. She goes, I know what it looks like, Joe. 3 wins from 3, that's why I'm the EST, the greatest in this competition. That championship is going to look great around my waist, but you don't get complacent now, okay? I need to stay on tip-top condition. I can qualify right now and I can take my foot off the pedal, or I can keep my foot on that pedal so I'm ready to go whenever I need to lock in and get to those finals. Because make one thing perfectly sure, there's only ever one first ever Women's Intercontinental Champion, and that's going to be me. We then hear from Tegan and Piper. Tegan Knox tonight, you came up short against Bianca Belair, which, you know, she's considered the favourite in this tournament so far. You gave her a good fight. And Tegan goes, listen, I'm not out. Okay, I'm on 4. 2 wins can get me to 10. That should be enough to see me through. You know, I've been doing the maths in my head. It's pretty good. You know, this tournament, it gets you going. It gets your mind rolling, and it really you know, makes you want to put in that extra work to get it done. So whoever I've got left next, Tiffany, Tatum, I'm going to put them both down. I'm going to advance to the next round. And for you, Piper, tonight, a big upset. A lot of people didn't have you beating Tiffany Stratton tonight. And Piper goes, I don't know why. You know, I'm a former women's tag team champion, 2-time women's tag team champion, I'm a former women's NXT UK women's champion. What's Tiffany done since she's been here? Sure, she may have been undefeated heading into tonight, but look at me, I could destroy someone like Tiffany Stratton. I had a rough start, you know, couldn't beat Tegan, but we're moving on up. And I'm going to get through, and I'm going to maybe face Tegan for the championship in the final of the tournament. That's when Candice walks into frame. She goes, hey, girls. You know, they're both just, like, happy to see her, start hugging her. She goes, oh, my God, you know, where have you been? She goes, no, I'm on Heat duty this week. You know, I asked if I could come over here to work Heat because I wanted to get some reps under my belt. But, you know, I knew I was going to come and see you because I knew you had your big matches down in this tournament. I've been watching you in this tournament. Great stuff. You know, I'm pulling for both of you, I know. It's not looking great right now, but you can get it done. I believe in you. And they're like, great, you know, so how's things going over on SmackDown? And Cat's like, it's going. She goes, yeah, but how's Dakota doing? She goes, she's great. Yeah, good luck in the tournament. I'm rooting for you. Both of you. Okay? Forever. She walks off. I'm like, hey, you know, nice to see her. Our old friend. 73 rated tag match. Get the Becky Misfits out there getting some reps. Kelly and Lyra, the Birds of Prey, defeat the Page Sisters. 12:32, Lyra pinning Kenzie with a guillotine. 67 for Kelly, 78 for Lyra, 52 for Kylie Page, 55 for Kenzie Page. We then see Brandy. She's doing like a video message. She says, ladies and gentlemen, last week the rightful runner of the women's division here in WWE made her return on Heat, and I've been coursed with correcting a lot of things that were going wrong with this division and this show over the past few months. You see, in just 1 week we had upset, unsettled women stars who wanted to trade away from their current show, and we gave her just that. But make no thing about it, this place is no longer going to be about cuddling up to authority and kissing my ass to get what you want from this show. Okay, you want to win matches, you want to get opportunities, put in the work for it, okay? because we ain't taking no handouts on heat anymore. This is where women come, to fine-tune their skills and get their first big breakout opportunity. It's not some playground for some wannabe authority figure to start pushing her friends and handing out championships to people who don't deserve them, okay? So this is the old heat, the heat you all used to love. We're back. No more of that BS. We then cut back up to Tiffany Stratton. She's angry backstage. She's having a fit. She's crying. And then Joe Tesoro goes, Tiffany Stratton, I want to get a word with you, following your loss this week to Piper Niven. And Morale goes, can you not see she's busy? Can you not see that Tiffany Stratton is not in the mood to talk to you right now? Like, I know that an interview with Tiffany is such big press and big paparazzi because everything revolves around her. But clearly not now. Clearly now's not the time, Joe. And he goes, I just wanted to get words. He goes, get lost! And, scares him off. So we never get to hear from Tiffany, but she's clearly upset about her defeat tonight. 73. Shida gets a win. Just to give her a nice win on the show. She beats Haley Paul, who quit to obviously chase you in the learning tree recently. And yeah, Full Metal Muffler in 8:27. 77 for Shida, 52 for Haley. Nice. So yes, Shida gets a win. Hopefully she gets something to sink her teeth into soon. We then see J-Flo backstage, Mackie and Tam hugging, jumping up and down in celebration. And Joe Tessitore comes in smiling. He goes, Tam, your first victory of the Women's Intercontinental Climax tonight. The first victory for any member of J-Flo at all in the tournament. How are you feeling? Mackie goes, I told you, it worked. Last week, my energy inside Tam. Both of us in her. Okay. And then Chelsea Green goes, what she's trying to say is, we're now all on the same page, all 5 of us. And I'm going to sit back here after, ruining J-Flo's chances all those months ago. I'm so proud to be in this group, to be one of the family, and to watch one of my 2 girls get the job done, because we're going to go celebrating all night long once Tam or Mackie become the Women's Intercontinental Champion. And then Joe goes, well, actually, it's... He sort of stops them as they leave, and he goes, it's 3 points. Tam is still, realistically, we have a chance of getting through if she can win her last 2 matches. But Mackie's on 1, and her group's kind of tighter, so, it's not looking likely that Mackie will actually qualify through her group. And she just takes the microphone and she goes, fuck off! And just walks away. We then see Tatum. A much different mood to J-Flo. And Joe says, Tatum, tonight you suffered your 3rd straight defeat in the Women's Intercontinental Climax. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news. And Tatum sort of snaps up and stares at him. She goes, don't shoot the messenger when I tell you this. But with only 2 matches left of the tournament, obviously the maximum amount of points you can get is 6. And since Tiffany Stratton is currently on 6 points, and you'd be tied with her if you got 6, plus Bianca Belair being on 9, due to Tiffany Stratton beating you in your match against each other, she actually has the advantage over you, which means it's impossible for you to actually qualify for the semi-finals of this tournament. And Tatum sort of stares straight forward, pulling out her hair. She goes, so what's the point of any of it, Joe? What's the point of me even still showing up next week or 2 weeks' time? Whatever the hell it is, I've got my next match. Why would I even show up? And he goes, well, you've got to finish your matches in this tournament. Everybody's got to wrestle all 5 people. Otherwise, it's not fair. Tatum goes, well, can't I just forfeit, okay? I don't even want to... If I can't win, because I'm a loser and I don't get anything that I want, why do I even bother? He goes, well, so you'd forfeit and you'd hand your last 2 opponents, Tegan Knox and Piper Niven, 3 points. And then Tatum's head snaps up and she goes, of course, Tegan and Piper, of course it's them. Of course they're still have a shot to get through because they get to have friends and family and championships. I don't get anything. They get everything given to them. You know what, Joe? Thank you for coming. I may not be able to win, but I can make sure Tegan and Piper lose. Goodbye. She sort of walks off. 87 rated main event. There we go. The original Ace of Heat against the current Ace of Heat. Candice and Alby have a fucking bang on one of the best matches in Heat in recent memory. And Candice does pick up the win. She pins Alby with a Lionsault in 18:59. 89 for Candice, 96 for Alby. So yeah, Candice, mainly because I wanted to give her a win. She's had a rough go of things recently. Like, she's still obviously presented as one of the top stars on SmackDown because she's always involved in important angles, but it has been a while since she got a win. Well, definitely at least a singles win. And she loses a lot because I don't want to pin Dakota too often. So, yeah, just a win here over Alby in a banger. Nice. Which ends the show. Gets us an 83. Pretty good Heat to go on top of a very good Raw. What matters more, that's what you thought of the show, mainly of Raw. Do let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time for ECW, with the Gauntlet to determine Warden's next challenger, plus Ruby Riott defending against Naomi. See you then.